University is a big step, and without the right information, it can seem pretty scary. My name's Kirstyn Investigates, a business student at Ulster University. In this series, I investigate some of the biggest questions students have when researching their university options. Join me as I explore everything from perfecting your UCAS application, surviving the transition from school, and getting your head around student finance. Today, I'm investigating how worthwhile university really is. To help do this, I want to find out the benefits of choosing uni over other pathways. In this video, I'll be speaking to Ulster University's Head of Market Engagement, Anthony McGrath. I'll also be meeting Dr. Donna Towe, Course Director in Marketing at the university. It is estimated that nearly 20,000 people apply to universities in Northern Ireland every year, making it by far the most popular pathway for school leavers. But why? With increasing demand among employers for work experience and job applicants, and the costs of university, is it really worth it? Anthony McGrath is the university's Head of Market Engagement. It's his job to promote the benefits of higher education to school and college students. He helps explain the support Ulster offers students and works towards preparing students for success after graduation. Hi Anthony, it's nice to meet you. Thank you very much for joining us today. So I guess my first question for you, from your perspective, is university worth it?
Well, that is the big question. A lot of people are considering university as an option, and as part of that they're wondering whether it's the right option for them. So does it hold the value that it once held maybe 10, 20 years ago? And the answer very clearly, from my perspective, is that it absolutely is. It still has that value. The evidence is very, very strong in favour of the university experience. Graduate employers absolutely put value on their workforce, their future workforce. They know where it is, it's in universities. So they go to universities to recruit, they make those links, and those links remain strong. They're stronger than they ever have been. So the evidence suggests very strongly that it holds massive value and has retained that value over the last 10 years.
So my next question for you then is, why would a student choose university as opposed to other options such as maybe full-time employment or an apprenticeship?
Yeah, and there's so many options out there, and it is so important that students consider all of those options. Even if their hearts are set on university, they should look at other options as part of the process. So there's a huge amount of options, and my advice would be not to just think, well, this is the option for me, I don't need to look at everything else. Look at everything, and that will confirm what other options that are right for you.
So one thing I didn't consider whenever I was choosing my own university is the type of university and the kind of university. And I guess a lot of students maybe get hung up on that, and that's the basis of the type of university they go to. So does the type of university matter? For example, you know, we have the Civic University there, Alliance, Red Brick University. Does it really matter?
My view, based on working in the higher education sector over the last 10 years, is it really doesn't matter. But ultimately, the important aspect of university is about your individual experience, what you gain from that experience, the links that you make, the employment links in particular in terms of what you make. So the type of building, I put much more emphasis on who's going to be teaching me. What I would be looking for is not a fancy building. I would be looking for that absolute experience that I'm going to gain. I'm going to be taught by this person because they've had that experience, and I'm going to be linking with that employer because that's where I'd like to work. They're much more practical areas than I think what you're talking about, and I think they hold much more value.
So the last thing I want to touch on then is I can remember whenever I was choosing my own courses and choosing my own university, how nervous and maybe unsure I was to begin with. So for someone that's finding themselves in that position, what advice would you give to someone that's maybe thinking or considering of taking that big step and going to university?
The first thing I would say is uncertainty is par for the course. I mean, it's part of the process. There are so many people that they put down their 5 choices on their UCAS form, and that looks certain. But it's everything but. You know, once you commit to those courses, all of a sudden all of these question marks and doubts start to come into play. So the universities are quite good across the board in terms of assisting you in those choices. Certainly here at Ulster University, as part of that process, we try to integrate as part of that. So we'll invite you onto campus, we'll invite you in as a guest lecturer, the people who will be teaching you will stand in front of you as part of your applicant process to allow you make that informed choice. And ultimately it's always that question, you know, am I really informed in this area? Have I a sense of where this could bring me? And when you've got a sense of that, then you're well informed. And if you're well informed, then you're in a good place to make a good decision. We're here to help, that's the important thing.
And from a student's perspective as well, I can remember feeling nervous and feeling unsure about what I wanted to do. And then whenever I arrived on campus, the support available to me as a student as well and to everybody else in my class was amazing. It's completely different to what it's like at school, but the support networks are still there for you as a student.
It's almost a cliche now that people say support is there for you. It's not a cliche to use it, it's so important to use it, and I can tell you, based on the amount of applicants that we have in comparison to those who get in touch, it's a tiny fraction. Yet we know that the anxiety is there, that the uncertainty is there. But you know, those students who are engaging in this video, for example, I would really encourage them to get in touch.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Anthony, so thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope we've answered a couple of questions some students have that are considering university as an option after school, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Kirstyn.
So Anthony mentioned the industry connections at university, and I found this quite interesting. He also touched on the support available for students whilst at university. So if you are considering if university is worth it, availing of that help and support is extremely important. I now want to get a lecturer's perspective on what university has to offer and what the student experience looks like. I'm meeting with Donna Towe, lecturer in marketing at Ulster University. Hi Donna, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi Kirstyn.
So the first question I have for you is what makes the university learning experience unique from maybe other pathways that are available to students?
The university experience is very unique in a way because it gives you that unique opportunity to mix with people who are interested in studying the same thing that you're studying. It also allows you to really feel and scope out different career paths. It allows you to open up doors into employment because you get lots of opportunities to work with like different companies. So it's not just all about schoolwork or university work, it's about working with different industries, different companies and doing things like placement, which is a lovely opportunity too.
Another question I have, Donna, that I think students would probably find really useful is how is a university course structured? Is it any way similar to school? What way does it work?
It's very different. So you come into university on that initial induction day and you're sitting in a big lecture theatre just like this. And there's loads of people and it's a sea of faces. And we sit and we tell you about the ins and outs of university. We tell you about all the technology that we're going to use. We tell you about, you know, what's the rules, what's expected of you. We tell you about all the exciting opportunities that's going to come your way. And then we tell you, okay, off you go and come to class on Monday. And it's so different. Where school is, they give you your timetable, they exactly tell you where to go, when to do it, and it's very much handheld, okay? Where we expect you in university to be independent, we expect you to come in here as an adult. I'm saying we want you to be independent, but we are here to support you and to guide you and to be at your side, but not to hold your hand.
And I guess there's probably a big difference in being there and having that support and the options there for you should you need it. And I can remember walking in on my first day at Jordanstown and just thinking, oh my goodness, you know, my mum wasn't there to wake me up, she wasn't there to drive me to school, she wasn't there to set my clothes out. You were independent and you were left to your own devices. And you appreciate that because you do grow and you become an independent person, and that's what you need to do. You need to be independent at university.
I think that is probably one of the main things that's unique about university and school. You'll grow in terms of emotional intelligence, in terms of your maturity. I see it every single year, between first year right through to final year, the difference in my students. It's literally, they grow up in front of me and they make me so proud in terms of first to final year and then seeing them walking across the stage in graduation.
So my last question, Donna, for you, from your perspective, is university worth it?
I definitely think so. Now, don't get me wrong, university is not for every single person out there on the planet. What you get out of university in terms of academic skills, in terms of maturity, in terms of your own personal skills, in terms of, you know, networking of your peers, of industry experts. University is such a lovely experience. That initial couple of weeks of settling in, once you get past that, it will genuinely probably be the best time of your life. And I don't know anyone that can't really say that.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, so I hope it's been useful for students to see a lecturer, to hear from a lecturer, to see what they even look like.
We're not that scary.
Thank you so much for your time.
No problem, thank you.
I really enjoyed my conversation with Donna. It made me realise that so many students turn up to university feeling very nervous and anxious, and that's okay. She also emphasised the importance of independence now to try and make students' journeys as smooth as possible. My conversation with Anthony and Donna have made me realise that going to university is so worth it. It not only provides a platform for students once they leave university, but it also puts them in a fantastic position to earn a competitive salary too. But equally, alternative pathways are available and have their own merits. University isn't for everyone, and many people worldwide have carved their own success without a degree. Regardless of which pathway you choose, you are the author of your own success.